We would just like to thank our beautiful patrons. With their support, we are able to make the NPC Gamecast and Colosseum. We would also like to mention the video you're about to watch is for fun and is no way meant to be taken seriously. Enjoy. NPC. Alright, welcome to the NPC Colosseum. I'm your host Kane, to my left.
Did you say Kane?
Yeah, I'm the host Kane. That's my name.
Oh, I thought you said the host Kane to my left.
Oh, God.
To your left, Martin.
Hey.
Martin, to your right.
What? I'm too tired for this shit.
We're
Just
off to
move on.
such a good start.
Welcome, everyone.
We're up to the best start.
Oh, it's a great movie, isn't it?
Hold on. Alright, if you're listening on Patreon, thank you so much for the support. Fuck yous for the fact we have to do this. And...
What the fuck? You're so nice.
He's talking specifically about this Colosseum.
This Colosseum.
No, I'm playing the fuck
if you're
out
listening
next to me.
through fee feeds, please check out the Patreon.
Did you say thief reads?
Free
feeds?
You get
Okay.
fed for free.
Sounds good.
Sounds
Does sound
stupid.
pretty good.
But you have to listen to the podcast
That's
1,000 times.
It's not. It wasn't worth it. The one.
I think everyone should give us $1 for this, for our therapy that we're going to need after this movie.
At least for my funeral.
All right. So, what is the Colosseum this week? Who picked it?
Cunt face.
Yeah, who picked it, Amy?
No, it was Amy,
It's
wasn't
really her fault. But hey,
Blame Aaron.
it was a good choice, and I'm pretty sure it's getting close to the top of the Colosseum.
Okay.
Poor you. You're deluded.
Just gonna go step on rakes.
That's still too nice.
All right. The Colosseum movie this week was chosen by Fucktard Aaron and is Bad Boy Bubby, a Australian movie released July
Done in
28th,
South Australia too.
Yeah,
94.
we know.
It had a box office, well, it made at the box office 800,000. God knows why.
It was in the movies, in the cinemas.
I guess it's in the box office. So, what was its budget? Was it $50?
I did have this.
You got its budget?
I did find the info out because I wanted to know how much they wasted on this movie.
Alright, as for the ratings, it got a 7.4 on IMDb, an 83 on Rotten Tomatoes.
Fucking idiot, Aaron.
What are you doing? What are you doing? What? They can't see what you're talking about. What?
You can.
Yeah, what am I looking at? The reviews.
Yeah, why is NPC Mates on this website?
I do wish they could have
It's
seen you
just
try
a
and walk
review.
with
I
your
can write in
headphone
my
on,
review.
I didn't know how it worked.
What are you doing?
Oh, you're...
God fucking damn it, I hope you haven't fucked the sound.
I'm fucking tired, alright?
Tired of your shit.
And I got pulled over.
I wish we filmed this.
Good. Hope you get pulled over again. And they're like, did you watch Bad Boy Bubby? Go to jail. Do not pass go.
That is illegal.
Alright, this movie got surprisingly high ratings. Surprisingly.
And it won so many awards.
Yeah.
As it should.
As
83% on Rotten Tomatoes is basically gold.
basically, it's basic gold.
Basic gold is fucking great.
Yeah, and like Rotten Tomatoes are...
This just proves that you guys don't know good movies.
It's true. I think this proves it. Because my golly gosh, what is this movie about?
This is the definition of an Australian fairy tale.
Look, let me just do the synopsis. Right.
Jesus Christ.
After being kept a prisoner in his own home for 35 years, a man, Nicholas Hope, accidentally kills his parents and escapes into the real world. He accidentally kills them
That
and
is so
escapes.
not accidentally.
It was because he didn't understand.
He knew by that point he'd killed Kat.
He didn't know by then.
He didn't
He still didn't
actually
know.
know.
Look, let's just go. What would you, how does the movie start?
Well,
How does it actually start?
With a bath.
He's in the bath.
No, he's being bathed in the kitchen, isn't
yeah,
he?
and he's naked.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
It's
an
just
eye
straight up
full of
just washing
penis.
him. Just washing a naked dude
Yep.
in this room. It's clearly just a concrete box.
I need to know where these slums are so I can stay away from them.
Port
Port Adelaide.
Is that Port Adelaide?
Yeah.
It was Port Adelaide.
So where that house is there isn't actually a house. It's just underneath
It's the
this
industrial
old
area of
factory.
Yeah.
Port Adelaide. Like, you can recognise some of the buildings in the movie that are
you
still
can
there
recognise
now.
Bad Boy Bubby if you walk around.
I can recognise every scene
Still
in that
plays
movie
there
almost.
every night.
I'm pretty sure Port Adelaide looks a little nicer now than it did then.
Not by much. Not by much at all.
Yeah.
But
Is it because of all the money they brought in from this movie?
From what I remember, it pretty much made budget from the box office.
It did.
Yeah,
it cost
just-
$800,000 to make?
Yeah.
No, that's how much.
No, it
No,
roughly
you said it made budget.
it made $750 US. $750,000 US.
$750 US.
It says 800,000.
I mean, it cost that much to make. 750.
So
So
it
it
lost
broke
money.
even and probably lost money due to it was probably an ad somewhere on like Triple M or something. Ugh, this movie. All right, go into. So it starts with him being bathed, and then what?
Ooh.
Then his mum bathes.
Then he fucks his
Then
mom.
he eats milk and sugar
Sugar
and bread.
and
Oh
bread.
yeah, his dinner.
My brother used to do that.
Yeah, I know, but this was his dinner, not a snack or a treat.
No, that was my brother used to do that for dinner. Just
But that
'cause-
was his choice. It's not what he was fed. His wife or girlfriend wasn't like, here's dinner. And like, heated up some milk on the stove, poured it over bread.
I don't
It's
know.
weird.
It's very weird. And what were you saying? Something about there was multiple directors?
So until the last third of the movie, there was a different director of photography for every location.
Yeah, I was reading that too.
Which would make sense why
It feels
sometimes
like a
it felt like
fucking
the
mess.
scenes were just
The
all over the place. Like,
part of the reason was because this was filmed in order. It wasn't filmed at. They weren't at a location and filmed all those parts from that one location, then moved to the next and filmed all those parts.
See,
Then
that's,
why
it
not
just
just
makes
move
sense.
everyone
That's how you
then?
do a movie.
They
yeah,
In
but why
order.
have different directors?
Yeah.
And film like
So
photography.
each scene, and I don't know why they did it, but yeah, they just filmed it in order. So instead of moving all the directors, they just moved the cast, the people from it, so they could stay there. Probably
So the directors stayed.
Comfy.
each
Where
director
they
stayed.
were.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like primary school as opposed to high school. No, high school as opposed
Yeah.
to primary school. The teachers stay still, but
Yeah.
the class moves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
It's a
So
different way to do things.
what was it? His mum pretty much tricked him to thinking if you go outside, you'll die from
I
gas.
still don't understand why she did that.
I don't even know if anyone knew he was born. I
Yeah.
don't think he's registered as alive because it wasn't mentioned in the news that her son's missing or anything.
Yeah, he's just the glad wrap killer.
Yeah.
The cling wrap killer.
The cling wrap.
Yeah.
Glad wrap. It's always glad wrap.
Alright, so basically, like, it goes... Well, that feels like forever. It just really...
It does go for a long time, doesn't it?
It really
Just keeps
sets
on going.
up his life in this room for quite a while. It must have been 30 or 40 minutes before he even gets out.
Yeah. I was thinking of the scene when the mum goes to work and just tells him to stay.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
and
he
he's
just-
just sitting on the seat and he pisses. I think he shits himself.
Yeah, just like how he must have been there for like 6-7 hours or something.
It
like
was
that.
longer because it was, well, I don't know if it was daytime.
There's
but
no
It
windows.
seemed quite dark by
I
the
don't know how
time
they
she
can
got
breathe
back.
in there.
There was windows. There's like, it's not even windows. They were holes that go to the outside.
Was there?
Yeah, it's so like hot air can move.
Just
it doesn't
hot air
cause
in there.
cracks. No, it doesn't cause cracks on the building and shit. So, yeah. Vents, basically, but tiny hole vents. And, yeah, he sits on that seat, and she tells him God's watching, and she'll beat the crap out of him if God tells her that he moved. So he spent the entire day, and this probably happens every day, just sitting on the seat.
So the real question is, we know why he's fucked up.
Yeah.
Why is she like that?
I have no
What
idea.
is wrong with his mother?
She's from Port Adelaide. That's a typical Port
That's it.
Adelaidean woman.
That's just, if you want to know what people are like in Port Adelaide, watch Bad Boy Bubby.
Her boobs are too big. They've given her back pain and made her a psychotic bitch.
Yeah.
It's the only explanation.
Her husband left her.
I don't
With
think
a
it was her
child.
husband.
Huh?
Well,
Well,
her partner.
Yeah.
Bad Boy Bubby's dad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say not a
From
husband. I don't think.
34 years ago.
Bad Boy Daddy.
And like, it's so weird that he even came back in her life.
Hold on, can we get... Alright, I will say, the animal cruelty is fucked up in this movie.
There's no real animal cruelty.
Yes, there
That
is.
cat was trained to react that way.
That was
No.
legit animal cruelty.
The first cat was actually a feral cat that was
Yeah.
that
I read
actually was
up on
put
it.
down properly. He wasn't actually killed like that. He was actually put down.
when he wraps him in the cling wrap and kills it, like, he's already been put down then.
Yeah.
But the first time he wraps him in the cling wrap, he's still alive.
And when they tie him to the chair,
Yeah.
when they tie him to the rope and scare it over and over, that's all real.
Though the director did say there was people on hand and the scenes were filmed very quickly and the cat was treated very well afterwards.
Yeah, they fed it afterwards. What a fucking treat.
But it was a feral cat that was going to be put down. So it got a nice meal instead of just
Yeah, but
being
it didn't
put down.
need to be put down.
It's a feral cat.
Yeah, I had one of those for a year and a half. It was fine.
You didn't have a feral cat. Like,
Yes,
a feral
I
cat
did.
doesn't like humans.
I'd say her cat was pretty fucking feral. It'll attack me.
But
Yeah.
he used to sleep on my bed.
Yeah,
He
but it'd attack
learned.
everyone.
Yeah, he attacked the shit out of me. You don't pat him, but he learned.
Just don't. Stop with feral creatures. Just do a
Anyway,
movie with them and then
I
put
was
them down.
surprised with the cockroaches too.
He actually ate them.
Oh,
And
they
they were
pulled
real-
all their
Parts,
leg.
like-
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was like
yeah,
crawling
that was
around.
sick.
Sick as in cool.
No.
No.
It was
That was
disturbing.
all fucked up.
He's like literally because he's spent his entire life in this 2-bedroom flat thing.
It had 2 bedrooms.
You only have
We
one.
had the bedroom.
You had a
And-
bedroom? No,
Where
just
do you
kidding.
think their bed was?
You should say 2-roomed flat, not 2-bedroom flat.
Wasn't the bath even connected to like the fucking
The bedroom.
the living area?
They didn't have a real bath, did they?
Yeah, it had a
I
They
bath.
can't
had
remember.
a tub in the...
I think it was just
in
the
the
tub sitting
kitchen.
there and a
Mm.
curtain across it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And when the
It's efficient.
It's
Open plan living
Oh my god.
at its best.
no walls, just big square room. Put things
And-
around.
Well, anyway, it goes through how he occupied himself, and it was mostly tormenting some cat, catching cockroaches and mice.
And eating them.
Eating them occasionally, pulling their
probably
legs
pretty
off,
hungry.
torturing them.
He only ate them when Cat was already dead. It's what he feeds to Cat.
Yeah,
The movie
call
was
it cat?
fucking disgusting.
Okay.
it's called Cat. And yeah, well, where else do you go? Like that's
Well, the idea of
what
all
else did he
this-
do? Oh, he would dress up like his mum and,
and reenact.
enact scenes. That
Torture the cat.
Yes, we said that.
Yeah, well, while he's dressed as his mum, so it's worse.
No, because when he's dressed as his mum, the cat is him.
Yeah.
I know, I get it.
Yeah, so it's not torturing the cat really.
Okay,
Yes, it
sorry,
is.
it's torturing Bubby the cat.
Yeah, Bobsy.
That boy Bubsy.
Oh,
Oh, that needs to be photoshopped.
so.
But it all makes sense because he pretty much the idea is he was treated horribly and then he reenacts it kind of thing.
Well, his mum had him convinced that you couldn't go outside because it was poison gas. She even had a gas mask on the wall. That
It's not
way,
even
when
plugged
she
in.
went out
Yeah.
to go anywhere, she put the mask on.
Mm.
It's really weird. And like, if he ever tried to go and look out the door when she was coming through it, she would beat him. And he's just, yeah, I don't know. It's not good. It's not good
Like,
life.
She went to where'd she work? Do we know where she
I
worked?
have no idea what she did. I don't know if she really
Mm.
worked. She was probably on the a disability pension or something.
Just going to the pokies.
Yeah. Like, I don't know if she actually worked.
The pokies for
She was
35.
very poor. She complained about having to buy milk for his bread.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Well, also this guy, I thought he was for a while, the elf in Lord of the Rings.
Hugo Weaving? That's what I said. I said it was Hugo Weaving's best role.
Look,
Also,
people-
why'd you go
It's
Elf
from
the
The
Lord of the
Matrix.
Rings? Yeah, I was gonna say we just watched The Matrix.
Yeah.
People from Australia just look like that. It's
Yeah,
just
do
how
they?
we are.
They all look
Like the third picture at the
Mm.
top,
Yeah, it looks.
that's him. And then you go to the fifth one, you're like, that ain't
I
him.
looked at. I was like, is it a sibling? Are they related in some way?
Yeah, it was pretty like in the beginning of the movie. I'm like, I'm pretty sure this might be him.
Oh,
Wasn't
no.
he too busy doing like Priscilla Queen of the Desert then or something?
Who knows? Like, who knows?
He's doing better than that fucking guy.
He's definitely doing better than fucking Nicholas Hope, whatever his name is.
Anyway, yeah. So he was convinced he couldn't go outside, and one day there's a knock on the door, and he hears someone outside, and he's never met anyone else. Like, literally the only person he knows is his mother, which is really weird.
Oh wait, the reason he wraps up the cat is because the mum tells the cat can't breathe. That's the reason.
She's wondering where the cat came from. He asked where the cat came from. She said outside, and he's like, doesn't the gas hurt the cat? And he's like, the cat doesn't need to breathe. And he's like, I don't need to breathe. So she comes over.
Oh, she just strangles him,
and starts suffocating him.
Yeah, because he says, "What is don't breathe?"
Yeah.
Oh, what is don't breathe?
Yeah.
What is don't breathe? Yeah, and so he tests. Like, obviously, he needs to breathe, and he struggles, and he works out that you need to breathe.
He waits for a while. I'm wondering if that was legit.
Yeah, I don't know. And yeah, so he tests it on the cat in all different ways. He tried to like hold its nose.
Oh yeah, that scene's
stuff.
fucked up too. Not only is it wrapped in glad wrap, he's like grabbing its nose and trying to like suffocate it.
Yeah,
it's pretty fucked up.
And he doesn't succeed because the cat probably like just breathes through its mouth, like with its teeth closed. And so he wraps it in glad wrap so it won't struggle, and then wraps glad wrap over its face, and his mum's at work. And yeah, the cat dies, but she doesn't stop him doing anything. She's such a weirdo. Like,
she reminds me of you.
Oh, I think we skipped the sex scene, didn't we?
No, yeah, I said
it was disturbing. I did try to block it out.
That's the one scene I remember from this fucking movie.
You loved it, Aaron. Don't lie.
Just couldn't get rid of that. When I Bad Boy Bubby, it's straight away to him fucking his mum.
It was like you sat there and just rewound that part constantly, didn't you, Aaron? It's just like this scene's over. Let's go.
I
back
made a
and watch
GIF
it again.
out of it. It can be your live backdrop on your phone.
No, I'm cool. I like my jelly bellies.
And yeah, so she obviously, like, he doesn't know that what he's doing is wrong, but she sleeps with him whenever she feels like it, basically.
Who says it's wrong?
We're not having an incest podcast right now.
They're not step-siblings.
People in Port Adelaide might take offense to that.
They're not step-siblings or in-laws.
What about them Alabama folk?
They're a legitimate mother and son.
Yeah, I know.
And it's not right.
Like, no step this. None of the fun stuff. It's straight up taboo.
I didn't say it. None of the fun stuff. Anyway,
this movie's got it all.
Yeah, it's got a lot of stuff in it. And
all right,
they sleep in the same bed. Like,
yeah,
it's hard to really paint a picture of how dreary his life seems.
Drive to Port Adelaide and you'll see
what
how
they're living in. Like, I didn't know it was Port Adelaide, but I still find it hard to believe there's some of that looks as bad as that even in Port Adelaide.
I don't think that room was actually a room. I think they
made it look bad.
Yeah,
but the rest of the outside stuff was. All right, let's go to what? So the dad comes back,
and then he starts imitating the dad.
Pop.
Yeah,
starts reenacting Pop.
But when his mum's not home, so he doesn't open the door. He's freaked out. He's not going to answer the door.
He also parrots everything.
Yeah. And literally, like, as soon as his mum gets back, he parrots what the father said, eh?
Yeah. I know you're in there, like, I'll be back, sort of thing. And she's, like, freaking out.
Yeah. And in a little while, he actually does come back. And he sees him come in through the door, dressed as a priest? Yeah. And, or pastor, I can't remember which one. That's the white band.
Velocipasta.
Shut up. And he sees he doesn't have a mask on, and like he's obviously already kind of
realizes he doesn't have to breathe either.
Yeah, well, he tests it. He sneaks up behind him and tries to suffocate him to see if he needs to breathe.
Like, yeah, I know. He just tries to put him in a chokehold.
You see him walking up really quietly.
Oh, the dad is actually normal.
Normal is a strong word.
Look, normal for Port Adelaide. I just have to name this Port Adelaide.
is better than the mum, by far. Like,
yeah.
He's better than the mum.
At least he knew straight away. He's like, what the fuck's wrong with that kid kind of thing. Like, he knew straight away there's something up with it. He just likes the weirdo woman.
Because as long as he's not a homosexual.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, his priorities are really on point there.
Yeah, no shit. And, yeah, well, Jesus. Anyway, his dad, after 34 years, reconciles with the mum and has only just found out he has a son, and he's happy. He's got a
Ish.
son.
He's kind of happy.
He's genuinely seems like he's very happy to find out he has a son now.
He says he's good looking.
Yeah.
For Port Adelaide, I guess maybe he is.
He's Hugo Weaving.
Hey man,
He's a celebrity.
it's Mr. Smith, King of the Elves.
No, nowhere near.
You guys are mental.
No.
It's Hugo Weaving. What are you
No.
talking about? Look at that third picture.
I don't care. I cannot. I don't want to even try and picture it. I actually like the Lord of the Rings and stuff like that.
You're gonna see Bad Boy Bubby every time you see
Next
Lord of
time
the
we
Rings.
watch Lord of the Rings.
And I'm going to
And the
murder you
Matrix?
if I start. I don't give a shit about the Matrix.
He's talking to the elves. It's just like terrific tits.
I'm gonna murder you if I start seeing that. You know that, don't you?
Oh shit!
Lord of the Bubby.
What about like when he's like, "Son, you can call me Pop." And it's just a really awkward scene.
There's a lot of awkward.
What do you
scenes.
mean that was an awkward scene? The whole fucking movie was awkward.
Look, all right, it's weird. Let's get to outside because the pop stuff. Like, all right,
Well, no, you can't get to the outside yet.
he glad
Like-
wraps them.
Oh, and yes.
Can we just
No, they go out. They come back.
put the movie on?
No, we don't want to go through the whole thing.
They come back.
People need to watch
He
it.
tries to
Don't watch it.
start having
Don't.
sex with his mother.
Watch Rubber.
The dad doesn't like it because, and the mum screams.
Yeah,
And
what a bitch.
yeah, I know that was fucked up. Like, because
Yeah.
she's letting him do it to
Yeah,
begin
no,
with,
and then throws her
and
son
then as
under
soon
the
as the
bus.
dad comes out, she throws him under the bus. They throw him out to the front, and he's like freaking out, like he's gonna die from the gas. She throws him in the mask. He sleeps outside, and yeah, he comes back inside. And when they come back, they're all really pissed. He destroys the room, and he glad wraps them when they're passed out. So
What does he say? He says something as his glad wrapping.
be still.
Be still? Is
Be
it? Yeah.
still. Because that's what she would say to him.
Yeah.
Be still. And like, so he's like, be still. Because that's what the cat did.
Yeah.
He glad wrapped it, and it was be still.
And they be still.
And it's still. He didn't like. He killed his cat, but he didn't know it was dead.
Yeah, he still doesn't.
He just thought it was
understand.
being still.
Mm.
And he doesn't understand the concept of death.
He tries feeding it a cockroach.
Yeah. And well, anyway, when the parents are no longer alive
They're all being still.
and they're being still, because he got angry with them, he puts on his dad's best, and he
Doesn't he wait there for a while?
He's
Yeah,
there-
he
he's there for a
spoons the
day or two.
mum, drags
yeah.
her onto the mattress.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
Yeah,
he was
like,
there for a day
is
or
he
two.
getting
and actually, I'm
hungry
not sure if he
before-
had sex with her.
I don't know.
She was
Why are
still
you taking her to
dressed.
the mattress for that?
They sleep in the bed.
What do you mean? He dresses things up and dresses himself. You never know what the fuck this guy did.
He did put, what was it? Was it taffy? Or toffee on his face?
Toffee.
Oh yeah, that was weird.
With the
Oh, that
hair.
was another thing he did to keep himself occupied. He put. I don't know if it's.
It's toffee.
Are you
Toffee,
sure?
Just melted sugar.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure because it looks like what she made him that day that she went to
She
work. The
makes him
two little
cup in
toffees.
yeah.
Yeah, melted toffee on the face.
Don't burn.
Pretty sure it would
Yeah,
burn.
that's
Yeah,
what I was
probably
saying.
burn.
It's like 3rd-degree burns under that beard, but whatever.
He chopped off some hair and then he sprinkled it on his face so it looked like he had a beard.
He's pretending to be Pop.
Yeah, it was weird. Anyway, again, he's dressed as his in his father's best, struts out into the world, realizes he doesn't need the gas mask, and
Just
that's where shit really takes off.
just bangs a thirsty choir chick.
Oh, like, is anyone surprised how good looking she was for him? It didn't make any sense.
I wish people could have seen just now all of us just shaking our heads and looking shocked as we remember that someone slept with him. Like, we're all just like, what the fuck was her problem?
I know.
She's a
What's
young,
wrong with her?
good-looking girl.
She like
and
cleans him up and then sleeps with him.
Yeah, she takes him home, fucks
like,
him,
"You're a-
sings to him.
You're a funny
Sings
weirdo.
to him.
And he's a weirdo, and like she's into that, I suppose, like because she knew he was a weirdo. It's not like he was just silent,
Yeah.
and she just mistook it for mysteriousness.
yeah.
No, he was a weirdo in front of her.
And he's like, I'm a weird fucking kid or something.
Yeah.
And she's like, yeah, you are.
That's because
And-
that's what the dad would say. He was
Yeah.
parroting, "You're a fucking weird kid," and he always parrots and tries to do it in the voice of the
Yeah.
person who was saying it.
Yep.
It's really weird, and like basically, at least for most of the movie, everything he said is just something someone else has said to him.
Yeah, pretty much.
He has none of his own words. And
Where does he leave after being with the choir girl? Is it where he finds the band? Or no, he gets.
He goes to the eclair shop,
yeah, and
the
oh,
bakery.
what's with that fucking lady that tries to help him,
And
and
then
then doesn't defend him from the cop.
Just drives off after the cop punches him.
Yeah, because he was yelling at the cop and she got embarrassed, so she just boots him out.
Is that what Port Adelaide cops are like? Just
fuck knows.
walk up to you, take you out of the car,
Fuck you in the
punch you.
gut. He was giving him a lot of crap though.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, he was pretty bad. He was just parroting what he'd been told when he first walked into the middle of the road.
Oh, that's right, when he first walked in the road. Like, get off the fucking road.
Oh, wait, that's right. When he first tried to venture out with the gas mask, and then they yelled at him, and he ran back to the house
he
first.
ran back, yeah.
And then he slept with Mum because he's like, "Don't be still," and like she was still. And
Too still.
then
That's the title, still.
he got dressed again differently. That's when he ventured out and met the quiet chick. Anyway, he just goes up to these salvos, like Salvation Army workers, and he's feeling up the chicks.
Yeah.
And they're like, just continue on their singing, like
Aaron,
some weirdo hasn't started feeling them up.
I've got a feeling you've watched this one too many times to be able to recognize and remember.
No, it's
so
stuck
much.
in my head.
You
It's
don't
stuck
remember
in my
anything,
head.
but you
I know.
can tell
I
this
remember
movie
most of this
bit
movie.
by, like scene by scene without a problem.
It's stuck in my head.
It
Wow.
stays.
After the cop punches him, then they get picked up by the band.
In the back of the fucking
In the
truck.
back
Oh
of the
yeah,
truck.
that
weird
is that
truck.
weird in itself? That
Yes.
they're just like, get in here, and like they just throw him in. I thought it was
I
like,
thought band people are probably the most friendliest of people.
I
You
don't know
guys
what was
haven't
going
gotten
on.
to go in that truck?
That truck is weird on its own.
Yeah, I know.
A metal truck, a dump truck looking thing.
Yeah, but like no roof,
Yeah, that opens up from the side.
and it's completely sealed and enclosed
And there's
with lights in there.
It's the best traveling.
But there's a cop there too, seeing these people in that truck and
Yeah.
just let them drive
He
off.
doesn't
Port
care.
Adelaide.
That. Industrial.
And
It's fucked.
yeah. Anyway, he befriends this band, and they kind of look after him. They're like really just disregard murder.
Do they realize he's the...
Not straight away.
Not straight away, but when they see the newspaper
Yeah.
and then he says he's the one.
They're my
No,
that's my mum and pa.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they worked it out.
They
Was he
argue
singing by
about
then?
turning him in.
Hmm.
No, he hadn't.
Okay, yeah.
They argue about turning him in, and instead they decide to take him to their friend.
I was
He
really
gets
weird.
some money.
That made no sense. That scene, by the way.
Yeah.
Why did he do that? Why did they take him?
Because I think he got the money. He robbed the bank.
Yeah, remember he
the
robbed that place?
convenience store.
Yeah, but what's that got to do?
They got him money, so
He got the money.
he got them money, so they thought they'd be nice to him.
They could have turned him in for 50 grand. This guy is a serial killer, from their perspective.
But they
But
felt
they'd
bad
only
for
just
him.
met that day.
Yeah. He doesn't know any better. He never harmed anyone.
He literally killed 2 people in the car.
There was no actual hurting them. You know, no pain was
Oh,
felt.
and this is after they found out in his suitcase
He
was
has a dead
was
cat.
the cat,
Oh, that's right. He had the cat in his suitcase.
and it
the whole time.
stunk. And they're like, you got to take that outside.
That's right. That's where he goes. It's a convenience store because he takes the cat to the convenience store.
It's just so weird. And yeah, well, he
whole movie
didn't
was
really
fucking
hold
weird.
anyone up. What did he do? How did
He
he?
put the cat on the counter while the guy was counting the till, and the guy
Got
like
scared,
ran
didn't he?
off. He yelled something at him that his dad had yelled at him, and then just takes the money.
It's so fucking weird.
And then for the whole rest of the movie, anytime he sees money, he's like, "Well, if this is all there is, we're fucked," or whatever. Like, it's-
But the funny thing is, it always worked.
Every time he parroted someone.
like when he
Oh.
gets out of the mental institution, they give him $10, and he's
No,
like,
that wasn't a mental
That was
institution.
prison.
wasn't it?
That was the fucking police station.
They tried to sort of rehab him though.
That
police
was
station.
rehab. That
There
was
was no
such a
rehab.
weird scene. They just throw him in the cell with a
Just say-
rapist.
Yeah. Yeah, he was getting back at him. He knew what he was doing. He was in a cell by himself to begin with.
Yeah.
And then
It
he
was on
throws him.
purpose.
Yeah, throws him in a cell with a fucking naked, fucking filthy man.
Yeah, no. Why was that guy so dirty?
Yeah, I know.
Someone clean him.
Like, I'm pretty sure it was just the police station cells.
Hmm.
Like,
Then I think he got transferred after that because there was a bit of a time skip there.
Yeah, and then he was
Yeah.
dressed all in white, and they said to him, like, "You've been cured now," or "You've been rehabbed now," or whatever they say to him when they release him.
Yeah, there was a time skip there.
I must have missed that.
They really need to put numbers at the bottom of the
Yeah.
screen. Let me know how long time's passed.
Yeah, well,
But like, what is the point of that? Was that supposed to be him learning that rape's a bad thing?
No, he was
Well-
just being punished by the cops
That's just him.
because the cop tried to talk to him and he wouldn't talk to him.
No, because he got put in there because he was touching up a girl.
Oh yeah, oh that's right. The ladies as they came out of
the
bingo
saddest
bar.
kicking scene of all fucking
That
time.
was so funny.
They're
The
all,
slow
they're all
motion-
slowly like nudging him, and it didn't even look like they were throwing proper kicks.
No, but you got to remember these are like Adelaidean women. They don't have the strength. They sustain themselves on milk and bread.
They were kicking him so weakly, and then the actors like reacting to it like, and it's like, she didn't even touch you. Oh, it's bad.
It was supposed to look slow-mo.
Yeah, but they acted in slow-mo as they were like, okay,
Yeah, I
now
know.
this is going to be in slow-mo. Okay.
So they
So
did
they
it
did
in
it
slow-mo
slow-mo.
and then put the slow-mo
Slow-mo.
acting in slow-mo. Yeah, it was kind of weird.
It was bad.
The whole movie was fucked.
Well,
Just gonna keep saying that.
what's the biggest important? Probably the band, singing in the band.
Well,
Yeah.
this is after he gets out and he's been rehabilitated. The guy gives him $10, and I think, does he return home at that
He
point?
goes and sleeps with a cat, doesn't he?
He finds the kitten.
No, he goes home first.
He goes home and no one's there.
Yeah, and then he goes.
Oh yeah.
Then he goes through the dumpy area, along the docks, and finds another cat, and goes to get pizza, and finds the
Oh,
band.
yeah.
That's
that's
right.
right.
Finds them and wants
Yeah.
to go take pizza to the cats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And finds the weirdos that have killed the cats. I think that's when he understands death.
Not yet. Oh,
I think he already understood then. Like, he sort of had an idea that the kitten was dead, but he carried it around just in case to ask someone.
No,
and he's like, "Don't be still."
yeah. Then he sits in the park, and
The lady
Oh no,
comes
we
up.
skipped the band. We skipped the first time he performs.
That's the first time he performs, they love it. That's when they're eating pizza.
And he's like some kind of weird spoken.
It's like
poetry
a poet
music.
Why
thing,
does
yeah.
it sound like it is real Australian music in some way?
Hey, like I don't know if it's just me, but I like the sound of the music.
No, it was kind of. That's what I mean. It was kind of alright.
Yeah.
I played it in his stream the other day, and he skipped it.
Yeah, because all I hear is, I was like, the fuck is this? Why is he doing this?
I think maybe you should put on just one of his songs so people listening to the podcast can hear it.
I don't know if they're going to be able to hear it, but I could try. But how would you describe it? Is it like
It's spoken
the
word.
Weird Cure?
I don't know. Let's turn it up loud.
It's like a weird slam poetry artistic performance. The band are just playing their songs in the background and then they wait.
Verschwinde von der Straße, aber Schläge, du verdammtes Müslischwein, siehst das mit nichts oder du machst. Du dreckiges Schwuchtel!
Is that even in English?
Oh, wait. Is it?
It's not.
Nah, this
Is
is
it been dubbed?
this is the dubbed version. It was
That's the problem.
no. In the actual movie, it's in English, but this movie was dubbed for France because it won a few awards over there.
I wondered why it sounded a bit
course it
weird.
won a-
Yeah, I'm like,
Yeah,
I can't quite make out what he's saying.
Yeah.
You get the gist of it anyway.
I really don't think they did. But
Yeah.
anyway,
A nice slow tempo in the background while he fucking yells and parrots his dad and his mum and all that shit.
yeah, and weird shit. But
Well, Italy, so not France.
I like how it progresses. Like he's not just doing the same lyrics each time he performs.
Yeah, it
It's like it changes based around what
What
he's
he's-
currently experienced.
Hmm.
And yeah, the cat.
The cat picture. If anyone's actually watching this,
Yeah,
Oh my god.
What is it?
The cat glad wrapped.
it actually makes
Yeah.
the cat look cute in that small picture.
Anyway, the band is kind of feeling like he could be their meal ticket at this point because everyone loved it and they were asked to come back. And so they've got him pizza and he's sitting there eating pizza and decides he needs to go take pizza to the cat. So he's got to get the cat pizza.
Yeah, he's putting pizza in his suitcase, and they're asking, "What the hell are you doing?" And he's like, "I got to take food to cat."
They're like, you don't still have that damn cat, do you? But this is a different cat.
What's he calling? He's calling himself Pa at that point.
Pop.
Pop. Yeah.
Yeah, he's Pop now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that he became
when he-
Pop after he returned home, and no one was there. he changed back into Pop's clothes.
Ah, okay.
And then he became Pop at that point.
After all that, and he's doing the singing, when does he find the woman?
After
one
the
he-
cat. After the
Yeah,
cat
after
dies,
Cat.
he goes and sits at the bench.
Well,
And
yeah,
that's
well,
when
after, like, he tries to take pizza back to the cat.
Yeah, and then he
But-
finds the cat dead.
Kids are, like, killing it.
Yeah, we know.
Well, I know you know.
We already said that
But-
part.
But I mean, like,
No, we didn't.
Yeah, we did.
yeah, we did actually.
That the kids killed his cat.
Yeah, and then you want to go back because we supposedly skipped the whole first
Oh,
band song. Thing.
yeah.
We don't need no complete rundown, just whatever the main points are, which is his girlfriend.
He gets found by a woman that works with special needs people.
Ah, I hate everything.
They
to do
tell
with
him
this.
that the cat's dead. They realise that there's something majorly wrong with him.
No,
I thought he was going to kill some of these special needs people.
The weirdest part about that scene when he first meets some special needs people is he can understand
Yeah.
that one girl that no one can understand.
He has,
Yeah.
like, some special power to understand gibberish.
So
Yeah.
I'm just streaming going.
because he is gibberish.
So
I
they've
hate
got severe cerebral
Cerebral
palsy, and no one can understand them. And yeah, she makes sounds at him, and he understands her perfectly. And they're like, "What the fuck? Come with us!"
Yeah.
And they decide to just kind of keep him because he's
People
kind
just
of
keep him.
yeah,
I know.
he's
Why does
really
everyone do this?
damaged, but they're kind of like, yeah, he can help the people, so we'll keep him.
I think the nurse also knew that there was something not quite right straight off the bat, and that
You
he
could-
probably needs help.
You'd have to be severely retarded yourself if you couldn't work out there was something wrong with him.
Yeah, but most people might just pass it off as a weirdo or a homeless man.
Yeah,
But
I think
she-
homeless man is what probably most people took it as.
Like, she saw it more as in, like, he had an issue. Like, it wasn't just some weird eccentric. And he's only supposed to be 34.
Only.
He looked fucking older.
Seasoned.
He's seasoned, weathered. It's the fucking meals of milk
For a
and
man who
bread.
hasn't seen seasons, he's very much seasoned.
Yeah, so
Well, all he eats is milk and bread, so I'm surprised he's
And
alive.
yeah, I know. He's not a healthy man.
Yeah,
Milk,
coffee.
bread, and his mum. That's all he gets to eat.
Jesus. Anyway, before he left the band, they actually gave him a letter, and it was so he could give that to someone, and they would be able to return him to the band.
Return to founder.
Yeah, basically. And so he heads off with the nurse, and he goes back to the, what would you call it? The home? Where
Yeah, the
disabled
group home.
A group home. And yeah, I think it comes down, gets to nighttime. Oh no, there's a scene where, like, the disabled people, I suppose.
Everything to do with that made me feel
Ma-
so
I
uncomfortable.
know it was uncomfortable, but they made a group decision as disabled people that he would live with them from now on.
Yeah, they voted to keep him.
Like, how is that even legal? Like, she's just inviting in some homeless guy to come live with these people.
It was
Look,
a different time.
We're Adelaide. That's Port Adelaide. Different zones. Build a wall.
We've got a bridge now.
Anyway,
Blow it up.
she takes him back to the band to perform, and I think that's when she sees him perform, she kind of starts,
Piecing it together a
yeah,
bit.
Yeah, realizing what he's actually singing about.
yeah, and God, the whole movie's crazy.
That's when you get to my favorite scene is it the band takes him to the room with the girls?
Oh, yeah,
Good
with
old
the hookers,
The tiny tits.
No, they
Shannon
weren't
and Sharon.
hookers.
Shannon and Sharon, was it?
Yeah,
They weren't hookers. They were just fans.
yeah, they're just goofies.
Oh, were they?
Yeah.
They're all like ready to do a threesome, and he's just like tiny tits, and just walks off.
And his face is
And one of them didn't
disgusted.
have tiny tits. Like,
I know.
she was well endowed.
His mum and the creepy nurse that
Maybe.
flashed him are both very large.
Oh, that scene was disturbing too. Like,
or he's in the
The
shower
whole
and he's
thing.
like, "Show me your tits."
Yeah, 'cause he's like, Pop wants to see Angel's tits, and
Yeah.
she's like, "No, I won't show Pop. I'll show Bubby." And he's like, "Bubby's not here." And then she's like, "I'll only show Bubby." And next thing he's like, "I'm Bubby."
yeah.
Tits come out, no bra.
Why is she not wearing a bra?
God, I don't know.
'Cause
I,
this
I
movie is
can't. I
disturbing.
can't tell you.
Does she have cerebral palsy? There's something wrong with her.
No.
Their back's about to become like one.
Her
Yes.
back's about to become a cerebral palsy.
Yes, just that.
Anyway,
Mm.
Wait, she's got spinal meningitis. Rachel. Oh my god, that's the name of the girl in it too. The one that has a crush on Bubby. Her name's Rachel.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Did Rachel watch this movie?
No, she refused to. She saw the cover and read the write up and refused to watch it.
What is wrong with fucking her parents? They're actual pieces of shit.
Oh, I know.
Oh my god, that was awful.
That made me feel bad for her, and I didn't like any of the people in this movie.
Yeah.
Like, I felt like that's pretty
What was
harsh.
it? So the mum was like insulting her for being fat, and they're also highly religious.
Mm-hmm.
And she's not even the fattest woman in the world.
I know.
Like, she was big, but she wasn't like morbidly obese or anything. And it's just so fuck me.
They just straight up
And she was
insulting
older.
her.
Like, god damn, give the woman a break.
God.
She works with special needs people. Like, you'd
I know,
think you
she's
could
a
let her
nurse.
have a fucking cake on the weekend. Shit.
She's
She
having
helps
cake
people.
more on the weekend.
And like, she's a complete disappointment because she's overweight and eats a little bit too much.
I love that he goes to where he slept, where the cat was.
Yeah.
Finds some cling wrap, just like a meter of it.
Yeah.
And then
Kills him.
Kills their
makes him
parents.
still.
Yeah.
And she's fine with that. What
She
was it?
doesn't know that he
What
did
are they?
it.
Were they standing and just looking at?
They
the
were standing at
factories?
the beach.
Yeah, I think it was like a couple of days later.
And
Yeah,
she's
but
just
then
like,
she's
I
like-
don't know who did it, but you know, it was their time,
It
I
was
guess.
Like,
And
she
he's
was-
just like,
I gotta say, the cops in this movie are really fucking retarded.
Why?
Because when they arrested him for the thinking he was going to rape the girls, they would have fingerprinted him. All right. When they found his parents dead, they would have
Port Adelaide.
fingerprinted that whole fucking house.
Did
they probably didn't even fingerprint
Yeah,
him.
they
They're
probably
probably
just-
like a weird homeless dude
Nah,
feeling up chicks.
They would have fingerprinted him. They put him in jail.
No,
and
little
then
rape will fix him right
Put
up.
him
Yeah.
in the fucking mental
True
institution
rehabilitation rape.
because they wouldn't have been able to
Rehabilitation.
find any ID on him. So they would have been doing a full thorough investigation of who he was.
Well, you think so, but
And they should
they
have been
also
able to
just
put two and
walked
two
up and
together.
punched him in the stomach
Yeah.
earlier, so
In the middle of the road.
they're not that bothered.
I get the feeling like they're not very professional.
What is the factory and who's he with? One of the final scenes where he's just in the factory,
That's the power plant.
the power plant.
Oh,
Yeah,
he
that's-
meets that guy at the church.
Oh, he
The
goes to
organ
church,
player.
yeah.
The weirdo, like, that was weird. Why was that scene in the
There are a
movie?
few of those.
There's a lot of them.
Like, there's quite a few scenes that are just chucked in, like
Yeah.
just weird scenes.
And that guy that gave him the lecture about not killing people anymore, was that real or did he dream that?
No, that was real. And I'm pretty sure
Oh,
when
explaining religion and shit, his bandmate.
But then all the mats kept changing.
That was like a printed out paper that he laid down to make a big picture of all the religious things. Well, that's what it looked like because you could see paper off to the side.
It looked like a mat.
it was
No.
weird that they went to that much effort.
They had to. He's fucked up. Like,
And basically, they try to explain to him that you can't cling wrap people. Cling wrapping them
cling wrapping,
is
yeah.
killing them.
Mm-hmm.
And don't be like these religious people that kill people.
Religious nut holes.
You can't kill people ever, no matter how much you get angry at them.
Yeah.
And that he has to keep the cling wrapping a secret. And he's basically reformed from that point.
And
It's
then
actually an interesting scene, that one. I kind of liked that one.
it's kind of weird because then after that, the whole band, besides him, is wearing cling wrap across their fucking faces.
I know.
Oh my God, that's
how
the
do the
best.
cops not put two and two together?
I love that the bando comes out with cling wrap on. That's so good.
You'd be so sweaty in
I'd
there.
be so sweating.
All
on
I
that.
could think was, boy, is it fucking moist in there. Like,
Moist.
yuck.
Under those lights, it'd be pissing down your neck, basically.
Yeah.
And
Also, where they're playing at, just for anyone, it's just like a pub. There was probably, 50 people there, like in a
Yeah.
small area. You could probably dive into it, maybe.
yeah, but they had a fair few people in there for what it was.
Yeah.
And
They would
were-
get constant gigs.
Yeah,
because of
they're
that.
basically constant local gigs,
Mm.
and that was famous for them. But it was enough that they could maintain their lifestyle of just partying and drinking and eating pizza.
Just
And
living off pizza.
Pizza.
but yeah, after that it just basically
The end, isn't it?
cuts to the end where he lived happily ever after with his.
With,
Wait, what
with-
about their weird sex scene on the table first?
weird sex scene.
Him and Angel.
Yeah.
How, that's
No.
not weird compared to the rest of the movie.
The whole fucking movie's
I
weird.
know, like,
What are you
that's
talking
him
about?
actually with a girl that he
Women
likes and she
wanting
likes
to
him.
sleep with him is weird and important.
It is weird. Don't worry.
She
We'll get more into that.
Became attached to him, has feelings for him.
Oh, when he's comforting Rachel because she's crying because she's in love with him and he's in love with Angel. And he just takes her out of the chair and he's holding her on the floor while she cries.
Yeah, that's so weird. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's cerebral palsy. Yeah.
The scene when he first starts trying to help her.
Yeah.
Like,
Moving
with
the
her
arm. I
muscle.
thought she was gonna break the arm.
I thought he was gonna, like, I swear he was gonna, like, be still.
He's
I was so scared he was gonna kill her.
Nah, he was pretty good with him.
Yeah, like, he was good with all of them.
also, these are all legit cerebral palsy people. These weren't actors. Like, this is really weird.
I would assume that no one can act the
you
way
can
they
act
look.
like a cerebral
The
No,
way
you
they
can't.
looked.
You can act it.
You can't.
Look.
You can't act looking
Look
like
at
something.
how well Hugo Weaving acted in this movie.
Oh my god.
He even changed his name.
I'm going to tweet him. I'm going to tweet him this podcast.
Tweet him a picture of Bad Boy Bubby and be like, "This is my favorite role of you."
I'm going to be like, I'll tweet him. I'll be like, this isn't your best work. And he'll be like, fuck off, block.
Oh, fuck.
I liked you better in Lord of the Rings and literally everything else.
I think it was supposed to be showing that he actually has a gentle side, a caring nature,
Yeah.
and that had he not been brought up the way he was, he would have just been
And a normal person.
a normal person.
Yeah.
Which
Like,
isn't saying much for these people in Port Adelaide. He would have been a normal cunt.
Look,
cunt
they never
cop.
had a chance.
He never had a chance to be a cunt of a cop. And
The final scene with the picket
Angel.
fence
It
and
doesn't
like
fit.
just the kids.
what do you mean doesn't fit?
It
This
does
is why it's
not
a fairy
fit
tale.
the movie.
It's a
This is
fairy
why I
tale.
keep calling it
No.
a fairy tale. It's him with Angel and 3 kids, was it, running
Yeah.
around the front yard all playing?
Yeah, give
And
it
a
another
kitten.
week or so, and they'll be.
Oh,
Still.
wait, actually, what's that one where
He's like, be still.
what's the one with he's chasing the kid, playing with them?
Oh, yeah, in that shop, he follows the kid and he's like, little one or something.
Yeah.
He follows the kid
He's
into the
like
shop
little.
and he's playing with it. And then they're like, what the fuck, mate? Get out.
Yeah, no, I'd be just taking my kid away so fast.
Oh, God. Be still.
But yeah, it has a fairy tale ending. And that's why this movie is going to the top.
Yeah.
No,
Because it's the best well-written movie.
no, it's fucking not.
Best well-written movie.
I
with
had
the worst scenes ever.
this movie bored me so much I had to watch Rubber afterwards to have some fun.
Like,
Oh my God.
You are like Bad Boy Bubby. You know that, right?
there was only a couple of times, like, I felt bad for him in the very beginning of the movie. Because I'm like, he disturbed me, but I still felt bad, especially when he was sitting on the seat and watching how he occupied himself. He's like, been doing this for 34 years. Like,
This is how I think. What about you when you're at home on your own? You're just sitting there doing nothing.
what
Just
the
trying to-
fuck? Where did this come from?
It's like, I'm busy.
Shitting your pants, waiting
I don't
for
know.
Amy to come home.
You're always busy, but I bet
What?
you're just sitting there at the table, just
Just staring off into space.
Yeah.
I have heard that you can have, like, seizures where they're not visible to anyone outside, but you just stare off into space and you
Yeah.
lose that time.
mm-hmm.
That could be happening to me, and I don't know it.
Probably is.
Yeah, probably.
You're like, we're just all in agreement.
We don't hear from you for like days at a time. And then you're like, what? I reply to things. And we're like, fuck, where has he been?
Anyway, fairy tale ending, and I don't like his character.
because it reminds you too much of
'Cause-
yourself.
Yeah. Like, because it made me feel awkward, but it definitely made you feel things.
Definitely made you feel things.
Yeah, like anger every time we checked how long the movie had to go, and it was fucking ages.
Oh my god, this is the longest movie I've ever felt
I
watching.
whinged. I said to Kane, like, pretty early on, I'm like, how long does this have? And we were like,
We're only half hour
we
in.
were about half an hour in, and Kane's like, it's all right, calm down. And next thing, it's like another hour. Kane's like, ugh, and Kane checks it and just goes, ah.
I thought it was an hour. I checked. It was 54 minutes. And I was like, it still has another hour to go.
So, yeah.
This felt like the longest movie ever.
Because even with boring movies, you get to a point where you can just kind of zone out and watch it and enjoy it or whatever, like take it in. But this was like, we had to keep checking how long it
Every
had.
one of the scenes in this movie was seconds too long. Just every scene.
Minutes.
But,
Minutes too long.
You didn't know where it was going to go.
Yeah.
You had that's what I feel like that's why you're checking the time. Is because you didn't know it could have just ended abruptly. He could have just been killed.
It kind of did in a weird way.
Well, not really. It had an end.
It's just him in a power plant, and then isn't it the final scene of just him running around with a fucking thingy?
Oh, there's a sex scene. Then you see the childbirth.
Oh, the childbirth! Fuck,
Yeah,
I
with
forgot
all the
about that.
cameras.
Quite
Where
graphic.
everyone's just filming it.
Yeah, and standing around watching.
Yeah, the press was there.
Really weird. It's because he's famous. He's a famous singer.
So
The
famous.
famous singer and
In Port
clean
Adelaide.
rap killer.
And yeah. So but honestly, it wouldn't have surprised me if he was just beaten to death, and that's how it ended, is him in an alleyway.
Did you say something
beaten
about
to death.
being executed?
Yeah,
Yeah.
there was an alternate ending.
I was reading that. At the time, Adelaide was going through court trying to legalize. What do you
The
call
death
it?
The death,
The death penalty.
Oh, really?
So he actually wrote another ending for it just in case that went through,
Oh shit.
and he was actually going to have the ending with Bad Boy Bubby getting hung for his crimes of killing.
Anyone
No.
that fucking executed him and gave him the death penalty,
Would have been a hero.
Yeah.
a total morons, is obviously mentally challenged.
So
The directors, the
Death
directors,
penalty.
the writers,
Death
the
penalty.
the people that made this movie should have been executed.
They should have given the death.
I
You
want all
should have
of
been
them.
executed for making me watch it.
All of those directors of photography that did all the scenes in the first 3/4, I want them all in a Hunger Games situation.
You know, I will say the movie definitely got better by the third act, maybe.
Mm.
But fuck me, the start was long, and I know that was
But
for
it's
a
setting
reason.
up
I know it
it's
was
setting
setting
up
up.
the feelings towards his environment.
Yeah, I know.
And-
Just everything is seconds too long.
What about that guy that just cuts down the tree?
I know.
And he's
That
like
was such a weird
and he's just
scene.
scaring him with a chainsaw.
But
Why is he cutting down that
Why
tree?
did they cut down that tree?
And it was one of those little ones that are on the footpath in the city.
Yeah, that would eventually have been a big tree
That's why
that
just like-
gave shade to people and
He's
shit.
just like, piss off, and he's scaring him with the chainsaw. You don't do that as a public worker,
It's really weird.
or as anyone.
It was a strange scene. I don't feel like it needed to be in the
There was
movie.
lots of scenes like that where you're like, why is this in this movie? They probably could have just they
Like,
could have cut it down.
When he goes into the post office or the printing place,
he just walks in there and looks around, and
he barks at that guy, walks
Oh,
into
yeah.
the back.
he sees
That
the
one
dog.
wasn't
Yeah.
bad though, because that compressed a lot of you wondering wouldn't he just be doing this, wandering around looking at things? He
But
didn't have
why
any.
would
He had no boundaries, no personal
True.
skills.
But he did wander back there and listen to all the noise and then just close his eyes to relax. And it was like, that's awful. Get out of there. But maybe he missed industrial sounds.
Maybe. Yeah, I honestly thought I could see him putting his hand in there and it just cutting his hand off or some shit.
I'd watch that. That's one less hand to grope women with.
He did group a lot of women.
So many women. And one of them was like, okay, let's go back to my place. Why not? Filthy hobo.
that was the best storytelling. He gropes someone, they're like, no thank you. He gropes one, he's able to sleep with her. He gropes another, he gets kicked the shit out of
Yeah.
slightly.
He has zero understanding of this world. It wouldn't have made any sense because no one has ever gotten mad at him for groping them before.
The fact that he just went and stood with the singers, though. Imagine being you're trying to do your performance and some creepy dude comes and stands
But they're
next to you and
Salvation
sings.
Army.
Yeah,
So
they
they're
knew.
always with weirdos.
Yeah.
and-
But they were
they
like,
are
come on,
weirdos.
sad man, come and have pizza.
yeah.
So
They're
weird.
gonna say, come on, sad man, come and have pussy.
No, that's after the pizza.
Pizza then pussy.
God. Dessert
but-
after.
Did you at least feel a little bit of sympathy for him when he first ate the pizza?
Oh, and he's first enjoying
His
it. and
first
discovering,
As little as
Discovering
you
something
could say
that's-
pizza is food.
discovering savory.
Discovering anything other than milk and bread.
Well, I was going to say it's probably not sympathy. It's more like you're excited for him. But no, it was sympathy because that pizza looked fucking old.
That pizza,
Didn't look great.
like it was a prop. I'm not sure it was actually real. It was a fucking wax pizza. I couldn't even tell what the toppings were.
I was
on it.
looking
It
at
so
that and I'm like,
I'm pretty sure it was meat lovers.
it was
I don't know.
I thought it was
mushroom.
mushroom.
It was mushroom and pepperoni, and I was like, I'd eat the fuck out of that if it didn't look like that.
You're like, I like the idea of the ingredients on it.
No garlic bread though. Man, he hasn't lived.
Fucking
I don't
prop
like garlic
master.
bread.
Give him the death penalty.
But yeah, so there was a lot of things in
Like-
it where they tried to build up feelings for him, sympathy for him, but
Hmm.
also like revulsion.
You're like, if there wasn't,
Like,
I need to be explained what half of those scenes were like out of, just those weird scenes, like the whole chainsaw and the cutting the tree down
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Oh, that had no purpose.
But that's what I'm
The
saying.
movie
like,
had no
if
purpose.
this movie was shorter, I get the story and I get the point, and it's overall guy being trapped for 35 years, being treated like shit, and then understanding. That's an interesting story on its own. You know
Yeah.
what I mean, like,
If the animal cruelty wasn't in it, I wouldn't hate it as much. If it was half an hour shorter and didn't have the animal cruelty, I would not hate the movie as much as I do.
if it was a half an hour, probably be all right movie.
If it was a 5-minute movie, it'd probably be okay.
It probably could have been a short film and probably invoked the same feelings.
but you have to understand, like, what else could they have done to show his boredom and like him occupying himself?
Not making the movie.
No, see, they should have just filmed behind the scenes because it's clearly they were so bored they made this movie.
I would have preferred if he just sat in the dark and self-harmed.
Right.
Then
But
the
he's
movie
not. He's
awesome.
not. He's not depressed because he doesn't know any better.
Yeah, I know he
Yeah.
doesn't know any different, but I'd just prefer that
He's
over the animal
like an
stuff.
actual blank slate.
Yeah.
Like, and I have to like, it feels like they get that point across pretty well in this movie. Like, I could see why.
She
those
barely
artsy
talks to him.
fartsy-
She barely
Yeah, I
talks
know.
to him.
I
So-
found it interesting that he's
And he
from
doesn't have
everything we
TV.
see, he's just very curious. Like, he's curious about Kat, he's curious about the outside, he's curious about everything, and you don't actually see his real personality other than the curiosity in bouts because he just parrots like phrases and behavior. He mimics his mum's aggro behavior towards him, puts it on the cat. He stomps around, he yells at things, like he acts like a psycho, but when you see him out in the world for the first time, he's nothing like that.
Mm.
He's just like sort of a bit spooked by everything, and he's real kind of curious still.
And horny.
I don't know that he is horny. He just kind of let that happen. I don't think he pursued it. He was kind of like,
He didn't pursue the
Boobs.
sex,
small
but
boobs.
he does like boobs.
Yeah.
He likes to group boobs.
He probably thought they were just nipples. He's like, these are little. Just nipples?
Just the nip.
Yeah.
But also because they're like the first other people that he's ever seen. It just must be interesting to him. Like different people. Like
It's like, this is where I see.
you wait
like,
till he sees a
in-
black guy.
And then just instinctively starts beating him.
But he never really like was violent.
No.
Like besides the act of be still and
Yeah,
cling
yeah.
wrapping people.
But that
He-
wasn't malicious at all.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
It wasn't like a violent act.
That's what I mean.
It's
In
actually
general,
quite
the
gentle.
character in this movie is interesting.
Yeah,
That's
but
why
when
I can
he's
see
when
why,
he's
like,
attacking the cat with the pole and stuff, and like scaring it, letting it run away, scaring it, letting it
Because
run
he doesn't
away.
understand its reactions.
I know he doesn't know, but he must in some way understand because it's how his mum treats him. So he knows he doesn't like it, but he does it to something
Yeah.
else.
Yeah, that probably is one that doesn't fit the whole him not understanding and being
yeah.
curious kind of thing.
Like, I know he's
Yeah.
just reenacting, like, he's got no toys or anything. He's got the cat and nothing else in the whole house. So, you know, tying it to the chair and telling it to be still and everything, he's acting out what he's gone through himself. But he must know, deep, like, somewhere in there, he knows that he doesn't like it and that is not a nice thing to do.
Yeah, but
It's almost to impress his mum, maybe.
yeah, maybe
Oh no, it's probably the
But
feeling
that-
empowered.
it's not
Yeah.
like it's literally his mum is his role model.
Yeah.
Literally, that is because that is the only human he knows.
And she
And-
has so many roles.
Like she makes him food though. To him, even though she's this, like to us, we see how horrible she is. To him, disregard all that horribleness. She's the one who gives him food. She sleeps with him. She washes him.
Yeah.
Like she's the one who provides all these good things in his life. That and it's sad, but like they are the best parts of his life. Is him heated milk and bread and sugar, like being able to eat it all. Like it's pretty fucked up, really. And so he treats the cat no different than he's been treated, and he's
All right. What do you think of the overall, I guess, story of it?
It's disturbing. Like, it's definitely disturbing. And I think I like that it ended on a happy note.
I don't.
But I wouldn't have been surprised if it ended with him, like, being killed.
I was hoping he was going to die. I really was.
Martin is the least sympathetic person. He has zero empathy.
He's like Bad Boy Bubby. What about you, Missy?
Look, this movie, it just...
The story, I was asking.
I know, but the story's not the worst thing ever. I just think there's things that they did really wrong.
Yeah, the execution of it was terrible.
And yeah, I just can't overlook the animal stuff at all. Can't do it. It's too distracting from everything. It doesn't even really fit his character when you think about it. And I know it made for a nice character development eventually with the kitten, because he does learn compassion and kindness for animals, but I just don't like it. I know they can't CGI or anything back in the day, but fuck. It was just like, a bit brutal.
Yeah, but how would they have done it then? There's probably no other way they could have really done it.
Yeah, I just think it wasn't necessary though.
It was, because how else would they have created that development?
He could have done it to a doll. If he just had a toy doll and he abused a doll, and then it would have made for a more impactful scene when he actually met a kid.
No, because then there was no
be still.
There was no learning of, like, because he said to the second cat after it had been killed, he's like, "Don't be still."
Yeah. Like
he understood that he doesn't want death, that state where they don't do anything anymore, because I don't think he understood death, but he understood he didn't like how the creature acted once it died.
Well, maybe he could have had a pet cat then that he was actually decent to, like fine, still feed it cockroaches, it still lives in the vent,
but
whatever.
Then he
but
still
he's nice
suffocated
to
it.
And then it just dies because it's not supposed to eat cockroaches and live in a tiny shed. Like,
no, I think it still should have been that he cling wrapped the cat, but you didn't necessarily have to see him tie it to the chair and try to.
Yeah, I guess that would have been alright. Even if he was decent to the cat and then ends up cling wrapping it because of the don't breathe thing, I'd accept that.
I'd probably say most of the chair one is probably the other.
The chair's the worst.
Yeah, the on the leash
tied
one.
To the.
Yeah, when it's tied to the chair, it's probably the worst one. I think you could probably have gotten away with the leash one in that.
Yeah.
And the pole, like when he's just jabbing it with that metal pole.
It's a stick, isn't it?
It's a metal pole.
I don't know. I didn't actually think he jabbed it with it. I thought he was more just spooking it.
That's what I thought.
And he hisses a lot.
Yeah, he hisses at things a lot.
I hiss at cats all the time.
I just want to snap his neck.
Alright. What about like the acting and the cinematography and stuff like that?
Honestly, he did a good job.
It's very Australian.
I believed in his character.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's very Australian.
It's so Australian.
There are a couple.
Weaving's best role.
Stop it.
He's a phenomenal actor.
There are a couple of actors where it felt like you could see them. Like that woman at the bakery, I felt like this must be her first acting gig. She was way too excited to smile directly into the camera and deliver her lines. And then like when she was in the car with him and he was being all weird and yelling at the cop and stuff, she was just like like really weird. And I'm like,
the thing is they weren't professional extras.
No, and that's fine.
Port Adelaide.
And because the budget was $20 and a carton of beer, I know. But the point is, it wasn't terrible for the time. It wasn't terrible for being Australian.
Remember, this is the 90s and not the 80s.
Oh, I know. It's Australian.
Like, this is the 80s, right?
Nah, I don't know. It's not the worst. Like,
yeah, the acting isn't too bad. It's like,
and his character's believable the whole way through.
Here's the only good part about the movie is his acting.
To be honest, I thought this thing was post-apocalyptic at one point.
Yeah, I know.
Like, I honestly didn't know where they were going.
Wait a minute, it's just down there.
It's just another story to Mad Max, isn't it?
It's just one of the beginning stories. Mad Max, Bad Bubby.
Bad Mad Bubby. Bubby.
Bad Bubby.
He did. I'd like to see if he did any other roles, because I feel like he played this character at least.
I think this was his biggest role.
I never knew Hugo Weaving had such a broad range.
Fuck off, cunt.
He's like when people put like right under a different name, like pseudo right.
Yeah, pseudonym. No, alias. Oh,
yeah. This was him doing a bit of
It's
method
not
acting.
Hugo Weaving.
Look, let the audience decide. I'm gonna put a picture up of Hugo Weaving and Hugo Weaving, and I'll let them decide which one's the real Hugo. I might actually have to do that.
you should.
Let's see who's the real Hugo.
They're just both pictures of Bobby.
Well, anyway, I'd say it's probably a cult classic at this
It's
point.
classified as a cult classic already.
Is it?
Yeah, and
Definitely, you gotta be in a cult to enjoy it.
like, I'm not gonna go out of my way to watch it again. I'm not gonna watch it myself again, but I would definitely tell people to at least watch it once
Yeah,
to experience.
It's one of those like.
It's an experience for sure.
It's one of those movies where I'm like, "Fuck you, watch Bad Boy Bubby."
If you know someone can appreciate like arty movies,
Find out if they like A Clockwork Orange. If they do, spit in their face and then suggest they
Like
watch
right
Bad
now,
Boy
I'm
Bubby.
slowly filling up this gun, like these bullets of bad movies to watch. Where I'm like, Clockwork Orange, Bad Boy Bubby, Rubber, Birdemic,
Matrix apparently.
and I can just fire at people when I'm like, "Fuck you, watch this."
If everyone doesn't get DVD copies of these movies for Christmas, I'm going to be really upset.
But look, I'm glad.
Look,
I'm actually glad I picked it
The
because
music is phenomenal in it.
the whole way through, I'm like, oh, they're gonna love this. They're gonna be loving this.
Did you like our little video we sent you?
We send a video to Aaron of us giving the movie the finger while we're watching it, and then to the screen with Aaron on it giving him the finger.
All right. Well, anyway, favorite scenes and most hated scenes. I'm pretty sure most of our most hated scenes are probably the animal cruelty.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
But if you disregard that cat
Yeah,
scene,
we all hated the animal cruelty.
Yeah.
So we'll pretend that's not in there and we'll judge the rest
Oh
of it.
wait, actually, the animal cruelty is on par with the cerebral palsy for me. I hate it. It makes me feel so uncomfortable. Those people. I like.
it's not even the scene of the movie. It's just them.
No, just they are monsters to me. They are real life monsters.
Oh my god!
You are a monster.
So bad.
Like,
You are a
they use
straight-up
them
monster.
in video games to fucking climb out of walls and come after you. You know?
No, they don't.
They do. They're literally screaming in one of those scenes, and his mouth is so big.
Rachel.
Yes, that's the most horrifying
It's on
part
par.
of that movie.
It was on par with that. Yeah.
Except I know that one was made to be that way. These are real. These ones can really come after
They
me.
should have just used someone with cerebral palsy
They can't
for that
walk.
No, they do like weird twisting things. They crack their bones and come after you.
No, they don't.
They do. Or maybe they just slide and just
They
leave a
can't
trail
walk
of
or
juice behind.
speak. They're not coming after you.
But if they ever did, if someone threw one at me, it'd be like me throwing a ton of spiders onto you or something.
That's
Just like, get off me.
so sad.
scene. So if like you're walking along, you trip, and then someone falls out of their wheelchair on you.
I will scream.
And it's just arms and
I will
bones.
scream.
Bony arm, like cerebral palsy
Yes,
person.
I will scream so fucking loud.
And they're on top of you. Arr.
Yes. It's my worst nightmare.
Jesus.
It's my actual worst nightmare.
If you ever betray me, you're gonna wake up in the middle of the night and your room will be full.
I'll fucking have a heart attack. I actually have a heart attack. Look, some people are scared of... What's that phobia, then? Is there a phobia for it? Because I probably have that.
Fuck knows.
Can't.
Cunt.
Cuntishness.
Just cunt.
Yeah. No compassion.
I got compassion.
Yeah, I feel bad for them.
I feel bad for them.
But I feel bad for me being around them.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I have way more empathy for myself.
You don't have empathy for yourself. You're feeling your emotion.
No, I'm feeling it as well as feeling the outside feeling of it.
And you think I'm a monster.
Oh my god.
Alright, what was
Like,
everyone else?
it did make me feel uncomfortable, but I think most of that was because I was scared he was going to kill them or hurt them or do something to fuck up his situation. The whole movie was like a fight against time. Like, would he learn enough to not get
Put away.
like put away
Mm.
and like lost in like institution basically?
Look,
He
the
did
odds were
put
in his
away.
favour. He had everyone helping him.
It didn't make any sense how many people helped him, but like it could have turned at any moment. Like, and honestly, when he was getting kicked on the ground slowly, I thought that
Slowly.
I
You're not
thought
even
that
talking about the slow-mo either.
I thought he wasn't getting out of this,
Mm.
but he managed to be rehabilitated, and
Well,
he made
what was
it
your
out.
least favourite scenes? Other than the...
Okay, I think my least favorite is when he goes to the church and the guy takes him back to the factory and has the weird conversation for no reason. And then also the guy having the religious talk with him.
Really?
I like the idea of it.
Anti-religious talk.
Well, I like the idea of it, but the way that it was done with the big pictures on the floor and that made it feel like a weird dream sequence.
Oh, that one.
It was weird. It
Yeah,
needed to
that
be-
was bizarre.
it
I
needed to
didn't
be-
like
I
that.
don't know. I feel like he's like, let's make this difficult and big so we can understand.
Like, to me, it kind of lost the realism because I thought, how is he changing that picture he's standing on? It didn't make sense.
It did look like there was, like, you know in Birdemic, where there's the weird speeches in it about, like, global warming?
Yeah.
That's what it felt like. Someone like, let's throw in a message into this movie, you know what I mean? Let's just stop war, like, kind of thing.
But I
Yeah.
think the best is probably when he's performing with the band and he just gets more and more popular
That's my favorite
and has
scene.
a lot like, as much as I dislike him and I'm not a fan of the movie that much, those scenes are kind of fun. Like him making the retarded noises and just, I don't know, having a good time. He doesn't quite understand
Like
what's
kind
happening.
of fitting in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like he understands that people are happy and joining in with him and he's
Yeah.
doing something, but he doesn't really know what it is. So it's kind of like a wholesome moment, I guess.
Yeah.
See, if it wasn't for the weird noises, I would actually like the way that music is done. But the whole, like, thing and shit like that is just fucking irritating.
You love it.
Nah, I don't.
You love it.
My favorite is obviously the Shannon and Sharon scene. The
Yeah.
tiny titties.
That was
He's
pretty
so
good.
upset by them.
He is so upset by them tiny titties.
As he
Not
should
even tiny
be.
titties.
What about the salvos, like, at the beginning when they're, like, just taking the money out of the tin to pay for their pizza?
Yeah, I know. I love that.
Fucking dodgy
What
cunts.
the fuck?
I mean,
But hey,
wouldn't
like-
you?
They're cool. They let him grope them.
What about yous for worst and favorite?
Alright.
Worst scene is the whole fucking movie.
It's not a scene.
Any pick a scene and it'll
Pick
be
a scene.
and it will be the worst. Honestly didn't like the movie for some reason. I
For
don't know.
some reason, we know the reason.
We
The
know a lot
sex
of them.
scene
We watched it.
with his mum made me really uncomfortable.
Yeah, and she just kept
It's like,
saying,
"You're
"You're
a
such
good
a good
boy."
boy.
You're
Yeah.
a good boy.
You're a good boy, Bubby. Your mummy's good boy.
I know. I'm
You
just
like this, don't you,
Yeah.
Bubby?" And he's just like, "I guess. Never known any different, Mum." Like, it's bad.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Look, get rid of the animal cruelty. Get rid of the
Ah.
incest.
Also-
That is the worst.
Didn't like when, like, obviously Pop just, like, is groping his mum and whips her tit out in front of him and then gets offended when he tries to go to bed with them. But then the fact that she, like, betrays him, like, he goes up to her, mimicking the dad, tries to grope her, and
And
she's,
she's into it.
so into it. She's like, "This is fucking great." And then, yeah, the dad notices, so she screams for help and kicks him out. Like, what a bitch. You raised this special little child, like,
That's
and now you're
specialist.
kicking him out to die.
Yeah, it was weird.
She was the actual worst human. Let's be honest.
She was probably one of the worst people. Like, she was the worst person in the movie.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh,
Other than maybe the rapist
what rapist?
in
In
jail.
jail.
She was a rapist.
No, I feel like she was worse.
Yeah. She
Yeah,
was far
she was more
worse.
psychological, I guess.
At least he was, like, straightforward about it.
Yeah.
I'm
Like,
not
he'd probably be a
rapist.
nice guy after you just gave him a fucking bath.
You know, I
So
don't know that
dirty.
that'd help.
Yeah, I don't think
So
that's
dirty.
You
good.
don't wash off the rape tendencies.
You don't know.
You're out in the garden
You
doing
ever been
some hard
so
work.
dirty and it's just you're just that agitated?
You just need
get
to
real
rape
rapey.
something.
The fuck?
So dirty, I gotta rape.
Oh my god.
If I haven't bathed in 48 hours, watch out.
Stay away from me.
You're so greasy. You're already lubed up, ready to go.
Oh shit.
I haven't done anything.
Yeah.
Well, that's what it felt like. He was dry. Like, he didn't even spit. He didn't. There was nothing.
Didn't even spit.
It was just fucking straight in there.
Title of this podcast.
Didn't even spit.
Like, fuck, man.
Alright.
Favorite scene, I think, was the first time he performed.
Oh, when he first goes out there.
Yeah, because it kind of felt like, oh, maybe there's hope for him, and yeah.
Oh, I
The
did
glad
like
rap was pretty good.
when he brought the money. I liked that.
And
And when they put the headphones on him and they're all arguing and he's just kind of listening to music. What about the fact that he just finds some girl playing the violin and just walks into the shed and stares at her and she's cool with it?
What was that?
That was weird.
That was so unnecessary.
Is that him discovering love for music, I guess?
Yeah. He works out that he likes music and then he just...
Walks into people's backyard.
If I was in my shed practicing music and some creepy, dirty hobo walked in looking like an actual serial killer, and he is one, like, I would be like, and run away.
She's like, oh my god, it's Hugo Weaving. I'm
No,
such a big fan.
she's not.
I'm gonna
I'm
shoot
the biggest
his.
fan. I love Priscilla.
Kane.
You
So,
guys are just as bad as
like,
fucking
I was
Bobby.
actually
Mike.
sure it was
Lift up a bit.
actually Hugo Weaving in the beginning, and then like there's certain like angles and you're oh wait, that's not him. But
I
I
feel
was
like
pretty sure it was
you
him.
thought it was Hugo Weaving until you Googled Hugo Weaving, and then you were like, "Oh, that's what he looks like."
No, I remember. I was picturing Lord of the Rings as a high elf. I'm
Yeah,
like,
to be
that's him.
fair, if you put
I love how
Bubby
you
in
go
that
from the
wig,
cleanest of people, the high elf, the royal, to Bad Boy Bubby being
if
the same
someone,
person.
if you send me a decent picture of him as the elf and a picture of Bad Boy Bubby, I'll put the hair on him and we'll see.
You gotta do that.
All right, so Martin,
What?
what's your favorite?
Yeah, what was your favorite?
My favorite?
It's gotta be the band,
credits.
isn't it?
That's what I said when Kane asked
Sorry?
me.
It's gonna be the what? Sorry.
The
The
rolling of the
credits.
credits.
Yeah,
Oh, the
the-
band. I figured you liked the song.
I like the band. The band was pretty good.
Mm.
Yeah, most of the band stuff was alright.
Yeah, they were pretty alright.
Alright.
Hugo Weaving.
Bad Boy Bubby.
He looks like Bad Boy Bubby's dad.
Not from the movie, legit.
Yeah,
Biological
His
father
actual,
to the
his
actor.
actual dad.
Alright. Who would you fuck? Who would you marry? Who would you kill? in this movie?
No, I'm not.
That's first salvo chick
Yeah.
Fucking
But
marrying.
she's tainted.
before Bad Boy
Look,
Bubby.
before anyone gets in there, I'm just taking it. I'm fucking Shazza
And
marrying
she'll give
Sharon.
it to you. She'll give it to you. All you gotta do is grope her. She's in.
I'm not.
And kill. Oh, I've only got one.
I know.
Like,
Right.
can I line them all up and use something really, really high caliber?
That fucking council worker.
Whoever you're gonna kill, you've got to use Glad Wrap. It's got to be personal.
I gotta make them all. Who would I make still?
Yeah.
There's just so many.
The mother.
Yeah, I reckon the mum.
See, the mum already got it though, so it's kind of like I feel like if they're already dead, you know, when you think about it, the worst people really did kind of get it. The mum and the dad, and then the other mum and dad
Oh yeah, that other mum and dad.
definitely needed.
Like they needed it.
They had one scene with them, and I'm already like, these people need to die.
I hate you more than I hated his mum. I don't think that was
Like-
possible.
She fucking kept him a prisoner for 35 years.
Yeah, like fucking hell. Imagine having to grow up with those parrots. It'd be like worse than Bad Boy Bobby's life. Really, if anyone, like, you should feel bad for anyone, it should be that nurse. She was the real, like, sad story
Angel.
in this movie.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was really sad.
Trying to think who really needs to go.
All of them.
It is all of them, but like who's
What
the
about
one
that lady that made you feel like finally, someone's gonna help him, and she kicks him out of the car.
Oh, yeah, I was thinking of her. The guy cutting down the
bitch.
tree with the chainsaw. The cop. Like, there's a lot of just these ones I'm like, you should fucking go.
That cunt cop who just pulls him out of the car and slugs him in the gut.
It's pretty good.
I figure that's what they're like down there.
Pretty deserved.
Pretty deserved. If
Yeah,
you can't hate the cop for that, like, the guy was a cunt.
Yeah, she should have been like, oh no, we don't yell that to Cop Sweetie. Instead, she just watches.
Yeah.
And it's
You know,
like,
maybe it is
the
that
fuck?
extra. That fucking shit extra.
oh dear.
What about you?
What?
Use.
I'm not picking.
You have to.
I'm not.
You have to.
You don't.
People pay
You
for
really
this.
don't.
Wow. Wow.
I pay for
No
this.
$3 for you.
I pay for this. And I refuse to pay again.
Good.
Good.
So what you're getting.
Just so everyone knows, we get none of this money. Kane's living a life of luxury.
Live a
Very
luxury.
luxurious.
More luxury than what we live in.
Uh,
Except for maybe money bags over there.
I think
True.
all the money went on this mic.
It did.
Aaron could afford to see like 10 movies a month. While we have to wait 8 years for him to hit Netflix.
Fuck off. Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone?
No, just everyone's going to skip out on this one. They're not
Fuck,
going to
marry,
give,
kill.
not gonna give the audience
I'll
what they
fuck
want.
that nice band member and marry him.
The nice band member.
Yeah.
He
The,
was a saint.
the religious
the-
dude.
The one
Is he
who
blonde or
fucking
ginger?
Yeah, gingery.
didn't turn him in for $50,000. That's already like,
You know what's weird? I feel like I've seen that guy in something
So
else
do I.
before.
He reminds me of someone.
yeah, maybe like
probably why I
actually
pick
you've
him.
seen him in
I've actually
Adelaide.
seen that guy.
At the Gaslight.
My God.
Gas station.
They're still making
They're
music.
still fucking there playing. It's going strong. It's a good band name. Cling Rap.
Lad rap.
No.
Can't feel rapping it now. It just sounds like a rap band. Good old Cling
So,
Rap. What was
you
yours?
killing Martin.
Martin
killing
wants
them
to
all.
fuck everyone.
Oh,
You
fuck.
can fuck them all to death.
You have to fuck at least one, and you can't have Bad Boy Bubby or his mum.
As much as you want to.
As much as I know you want his name.
Both at the same time
Like I
while
said-
you cling wrap them.
They just remind me too much of you. So it just wouldn't work.
The mum or bad boy.
Or would it work too well?
Both of them. They both they both remind me of Aaron.
Stop saying it genuinely.
Hey, you know I'm not being genuine here.
That's like the most offensive thing, that his voice isn't even sarcastic.
I know.
He's genuinely like, your bad boy Bubby and his mum.
It doesn't make any sense, but you meant it, and I hate you for it.
What about you, Aaron?
I said the salvo chick.
Marry or fuck?
Fuck.
Okay.
Marry.
What would you waste on that?
The girl from the car is probably the only one with sense, because she did leave him.
She was a bitch.
Which one was
Okay.
Sharon?
Yeah, which one had the pubes and which one didn't?
I think it starts off with Shannon and Sharon. The left one was big boobs.
I said pubes.
Right one's big pubes. Look, I don't know. That's why
I'll marry one of those because they
Hey,
weren't
never mind.
offended when he left.
Get your own.
Like he just left, and they just were like, "Oh well."
Yeah, they're
They were in the front again later.
Yeah.
When the band was playing. So
they're saving up to get surgery to get bigger breasts.
Jesus. And kill. Oh fuck! There's so many options. It's never been so many options in a movie, but
Clockwork had quite a few.
I was just gonna say fucking Clockwork.
I hate the mum. I really hate the mum. It's probably
Which one?
Oh yeah, the second mum.
Yeah, when you think about that second family.
Yeah, she angers me because she's got no reason. They were well off.
They were awful people.
Yeah, they're just bad,
So bad.
bad people.
Bad bubbies. So bad.
The fact she turned out the way she did with parents like that.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah. The second parents.
Just both.
Yeah,
Just.
both of them.
Well, they're frail.
It was their time.
Actually, this movie's pretty old, so there's a pretty good chance they're dead now. That soothes me.
Yes.
Yeah, that does make me feel good.
Yeah. Same with Bubby's mum. You reckon she's dead? She was pretty overweight. I feel like she's got to be dead
I'm pretty
too.
sure she's dead because it's been like what 30.
Someone look
20
that up.
It's
Is Bad
been
Boy
20
Bubby's mum really dead?
24 years.
25 years.
Or something. Yeah.
That's not enough. I don't know if that's enough.
She's played other things.
Has she?
When was her last one?
Yes.
Incest and all of them.
The latest movie.
When is the last?
She's in 4 things. Bad Boy Bubby was the last one.
And then
Oh,
she
she's an
died.
earlier actor.
Did she die? Did she die?
Incest killed her career.
It doesn't say that much.
It doesn't say that.
She was typecast. Let's go watch all her movies.
Just all incest.
It doesn't actually say anything about her besides what she's been in.
Damn it.
All right, let's go to what is your critical review of this movie?
2.
Remember, take into account
2.
everything.
Wow.
2.
Next guy that plays Bad Boy Bubby.
Nicholas Hope.
Just make sure I just clicked on the right one.
I think he's in something.
He's in a fair few things. He's in Scooby Doo. He's in.
Ah, yeah, that's right.
He's in 83 different things, movies.
Yeah, well,
They let him in things?
Well, he was a big star. Imagine that. You
Hugo
watch
Weaving?
Scooby Doo. You're like,
Yeah, like, don't let him near the dog. The CGI dog.
I want to watch Scooby Doo now. I'm just thinking of him making everything be still.
He's in cling wrap and Scooby's like, ruh-roh. as he cling wraps his head.
Jesus.
Zoinks. Alright, so you're saying 2?
Yeah, 2's my critical. Had a lot of fucking issues,
I'm
but
fighting between 2 and 1.5.
the story.
1.5.
I'm
I'm
saying
going
1.
2.5.
I'm
I
saying
was
1.5.
This is
thinking
not an
1.5.
average movie to me. This is bad.
He's in 5 episodes of Fast.
What do you mean?
Farscape.
This is like
Really?
a 5 out of 10 as far as
No, it's not.
the story is.
Look, Australia already knocks
provoking.
off just so many
The
points.
story is provoking.
The story is almost the only thing it's got going for
It
it.
was
His
filmed in
acting,
Port Adelaide.
He
Minus
did a
3
really
points.
good job of playing Bubby.
For all you know, that's what he's just like.
The only reason,
That is true. I can't prove you wrong.
Like, they got real cerebral palsy people in this movie. Maybe they got an actual homeless man in this.
the only reason I'm giving it a 1.5 because I know the locations. They did a really good job at pointing out those locations and how they actually are. So
Dear God.
2. Are you writing that down?
No.
God damn it.
You've got a
Yeah,
computer.
right, 2.
You
You've got
write
a
it
phone.
down. My phone's flat.
I'm doing all the recording here.
Fine. I'll get out my pooter.
now we're going to be sitting here for 12 months waiting for a computer to start up.
Fuck you.
Like, yes, it had some issues, but it made you feel things.
Yeah,
Anger
angry. It
against
still
you.
had 50 minutes
A
to
lot
go.
of B-grade movies will make you feel a lot of things too.
I did pity
Yeah,
him
but
twice.
not for the right reasons. This made you feel things because it was trying to make you feel them, not because,
Yeah,
Like-
if anything, this movie tried to be something.
like, Rubber. Like,
Hey, Rubber makes me laugh
that,
every time.
whatever that made you feel in the first 5 minutes, like, that was it. That's all it had going for it.
Rubber had a story behind it.
It didn't.
It did.
Rubber
Birdemic,
is
that
too
made
long.
you feel things, but not about the movie. Nothing they were
Yeah.
trying to make you feel you felt.
No.
You just felt angry that this movie existed, and then it was funny. But not because it was trying to be funny, because it was just funny that it was ever made.
It's true.
Alright, so what are people scoring at?
1.5.
But
Fine.
critically,
Ah.
Birdemic is probably still like a 1 or a 1.5. You can't say...
Birdemic is the lowest. There's no lower.
When
it
are we
comes to
watching
production.
It's got to be lower than Birdemic.
0.5. Birdemic is
Birdemic
0.5.
is probably the camera's like 0.5 to me is like that's pretty much the audio was not working. Oh fuck! I forgot the audio in this movie is horrible.
Oh, yeah!
you know why? I was reading up about it. Half the audio recorded in this with 2 little microphones in his
Yeah,
actual
I
ear.
saw
Oh
that.
yeah.
Yeah. That's why it sounds so weird.
It's so bad. It's mixed horribly.
Sometimes you can't
I
hear
was
what he's
changing the
saying.
volume up and down.
Yeah.
Fucking
I
trying
didn't
to
have
get
that on. Like I hired it on iTunes.
No, because you have to have yours so fucking loud as it doesn't start off with to hear it with your one ear.
It was
And
bad.
I have subtitles.
It's so
I have
bad.
subtitles on everything
Like,
I watch.
sometimes it'd be you could just hear the crowd or the background, and they'd be talking, and that their voices were low, even though like they're the main focal point of the scene.
Yeah.
And you're like, what are you saying? What are you?
I think the subtitles stop that from
You
being
probably
an issue.
you wouldn't have been so bad then.
That's
That's another where I should have brought that up, where it loses there because it's just
Fine.
like that audio. So
yeah, all right, you're right. A 2.
2.
1.5.
What was
Well,
yours?
beat
2?
Matrix.
Alright, so you're giving it a 2. What's yours?
I give the Matrix a
Kane?
half decent score for
2.
critical.
What about your personals?
My
1.
personal. Fuck this movie. I'm never watching it ever again.
Yeah, but would you suggest to other
No.
people to watch it?
I told you, I'm putting it in my fuck you gun.
Literally,
It's literally my
enemies.
main bullet now. It's my main worst bullet to use on people because I'm like, Birdemic can be funny. Clockwork Orange is fucking weird as shit kind of thing. And actually, Rubber's pretty painful. That one's probably up there of like really wanting to hurt people. But this one's in there. As
No,
well.
because Rubber is of a quality that I don't think most people would even finish it.
Yeah, because it's so fucking boring.
Is
It's
it
just
really?
painful.
I want to watch it. I don't think I've seen it for years.
I was watching it the other day, and it actually has a story. You just forget about it.
That's not a good movie then.
I probably have forgotten about the story, but all I tend to remember
It's a rolling tire.
is a rolling tire, and I'm pretty sure that was most of the movie. Like I don't.
Ooh,
even,
don't worry.
At
we'll
the
probably
moment,
get
I
to
can't
Rubber.
even imagine how the movie goes on for a movie length.
Don't worry. We'll get to fucking Rubber at some
That's
point.
gonna
I
be
know it's
someone's
gonna be.
power
It's gonna be
play.
the next power.
We
play.
should have a month of power plays where it's like pick the worst movie you can
What
think
about
of.
the month of picking the best ones?
No, we're not that kind of people.
Are we just gonna from now
Best
on?
is hard because we've already been doing that.
Have we?
Yeah.
Look, next movie is AI. It's been
Just, I think it
confirmed.
needs to be most interesting.
What's wrong with AI? Get over it.
I think AI to me. We'll get onto that, but yeah, just too long. All right, what's personal for Bad Boy Bubby? What do you personally think
Like I said,
of this
1.
movie?
I'd rather watch Rubber.
Yeah, but you're like that.
This wasn't a
I
boring.
would
Alright,
definitely watch this over
I
Rubber.
was actually willing. I was actually willing to watch the Goodfellas twice, then have to actually sit through all of this in the end.
I
Well,
watched
it'd
The
be nice
Goodfellas
if you
1,000
watched it
times.
once. Watch the Goodfellas once.
I technically watched it. I just didn't sit there with the screen in front of my face the whole time.
You didn't watch it then. Just hearing it and seeing it with your peripheral doesn't count as watching it.
You don't get to watch
Yeah.
it with your ears.
Yeah, you can.
Those sensitive ASMR ears. All right, what's everyone's personal then? Yours is
Mine
one.
is a 2.
One.
Well, mine's
One.
Yours is 1.
Mine's 1.
Oh,
Oh.
oh, mine was probably a 2. 2.5.
Oh, come on.
It's interesting.
No, it's not.
Yeah, but so is a Clockwork Orange.
I wasn't bored anyway. Yeah, and I probably gave Clockwork Orange.
I will
a
watch
2.5.
Clockwork Orange again.
Yeah,
over this.
I'd watch Clockwork
That's
Orange.
because
over
you're
this.
obsessed with Clockwork Orange.
Because that movie provoked feelings in me, and I'm a fan of the what is it? The psychology behind it. This,
I'll find you a different
but then this as
psychology
well. I am
movie.
interested. I like the fact it's an interesting story in the sense.
So
that
what
this
are you
guy
giving
raised,
it then?
Fucked up, goes out into the world. It's like a fucked up Encino Man.
Just because it made you uncomfortable, it doesn't mean it wasn't worth watching.
There's only one scene that made me uncomfortable. Oh wait, sorry, 2. The animal cruelty and the cerebral palsy. The rest of it
The
is
sex scene?
that's good shit. I can work with that.
Let's turn the sound
Ew.
off.
If I add step in front of the mother, that's not so bad.
It becomes acceptable.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, it's a 2. Actually,
Really think about it. Do you like this movie?
I'm trying to think. So 5 would be like in a 10 scale, be like average. What is 4? Is 4 bad? Okay.
It's not bad. It's like this was nearly good, but it had issues.
Yeah, no, I'm just trying to think of if you can put. We're just trying to figure out words to the scale. That would definitely help.
Mm,
We haven't gone it's this low. We're getting low territory now.
as we should.
Like 1 is broken.
That's how we feel after watching this movie. We're all broken.
2 is like terrible. 3 is probably bad. So what would 4 be? Not good. Not okay.
4 is below average. So, like, this was interesting at least. I've watched.
4 is not. Yeah, no. But
I've
what
watched
was...
less interesting movies before.
We've all
Despite
watched
the
less
fact that they
interesting
had
movies.
famous people, despite the fact that the audio was of good quality, like I would probably watch this than a lot of movies Amy picks.
I feel
Boring as fuck.
like me giving it a 4 out of 10 feels pretty fair because I'm like, this isn't a good movie to me. It's not the worst. I'm not like, yeah, give it a 1 for this and a 1 for that. It's like, it's nearly average. It's just got too many things that I didn't enjoy. I think a 4 is fair, or a 4.5 overall.
If it didn't have any animal cruelty, where would it have been for you?
Probably a 5. 5.5, maybe.
Really?
Yeah. I don't mind a lot of it. Like, I don't mind weird, like, fucked up movies.
4.
Especially...
I don't mind.
No, it's hard to explain. Like, you didn't understand why I sort of liked Pet Sematary. It was terrible, but it's like, I liked that.
Yeah, that's dumb fun. You watch it, you can watch it with someone and laugh at it kind of thing.
Yeah, for sure. This is one of those movies where you watch it and you just like...
this one's in between for me. Whereas it's like, I'm not watching it with someone to laugh at. It's like, it's kind of like that, but then it's kind of, you know,
yeah, you're
it's trying
watching
to do
it with
something.
me because...
It's morbid curiosity, though, because after they
And
set
now
up...
that curiosity is satisfied.
Is it?
Yes.
After
Done.
the initial setup of, like, how he's lived for 34 years, you just want to know how he's going to go in the real world.
Yeah, and then everything is just given to him.
But
Well-
I really didn't understand why people kept liking him and sleeping with him.
Yeah,
that
why-
just... I can't get behind that.
Like,
That's why I thought it was like some post-apocalyptic world, dystopian world, like
All
not
the males are
post-apocalyptic,
infertile.
dystopian.
Yeah.
It was weird.
So what
and-
are you doing?
4.
So you...
So 2 total.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
4 personal.
4. Fucking loved it. Says every Port Adelaide person.
Ooh,
Oh shit.
that'd be funny though. You're just like, I hate this movie. It gets a 1 critically, but a 4 personally. I love my people in Port Adelaide.
Tell me that's not Hugo Weaving.
Oh my god.
Stop showing me pictures of him. He's on the
Doesn't
screen
even
right
look
now.
like Hugo Weaving.
Yeah, it does.
You guys are sad.
I don't think he looks like him.
Thank you.
I would say right there when he's with the hair wrapped the cat. That looks like they could have done up Hugo Weaving to look that way.
Like that?
Literally on the screen.
Where? Yeah, you had to scroll up for that shit, didn't you?
It was there the whole time. It's been up for an hour. All right, what is it? What are the total scores? Where is it going to be at?
Right there, sorry. That one came.
Yeah, that one's up there as well. It's right there.
At the top half. They're the eyes of Hugo Weaving.
No,
The eyes of a man. That is
like I said,
I
An elf
think-
king.
it
I
looks
think
like
it
you.
got 3.75.
really.
I think
Let's hope
Is it
so.
the lowest yet?
it
Hope
would
so.
be.
You sure?
You
I
spelled
think the
initial D
lowest
wrong.
before that was 5.
Yeah, Mortal Kombat's 5.
Yeah, so it's 3.75.
All right then.
Thank God.
The 16th movie we reviewed.
Like, hey,
Bad Boy Bubby with what, a 3.75?
I like this movie more than A Long Way Down.
Yeah, but you're an asshole.
You're a fucking piece of shit.
A Long Way Down was horrible.
It was beautiful.
That is Martin territory of fucking leveling shit.
It isn't.
It was
It is.
Long Way Down was
thought-provoking,
boring
It was
shit.
lovely.
A Long Way
It
Down was
a
actually a good
lovely
movie.
See? But you gave it such a low score, Martin. You're like, yeah, it's a good movie, 1. Like,
You gave it a 5.5. It was above average.
he's like, good movie. A good movie is not a 5.5. So stressed.
I gave A Long Way Down 5, but I gave this movie 4.
Ugh, you're sick.
How,
Close.
wait, why are you giving this a 4 then if it beats A Long Way Down?
Yeah, because critically, I can't give it anymore.
You just can't.
There's a lot. Like, but the thing is, I can watch a movie even if I know that
It's
as long as it's
terrible.
interesting, as long as it's interesting, I should say, I can forgive bad audio or
Yeah, that's true.
These
You
certain
you
things.
almost forget that it's
Yeah.
happening because you're engrossed
You
in the
can
story.
forgive bad audio because you can't hear the audio properly.
Yeah, I know. I would say more than visual effects, audio.
as long as
hurts
the main
me.
actor is okay, and like because they're mostly what's on the screen.
Nah, because then if you've got bad side, it
There's
doesn't.
lots of bad side actors in this.
See, I didn't think the actors were all that bad in this. I thought they all played their roles, except for that one who's just like, I'm on camera, like,
Me.
like the rest of them seem like genuine
Humans.
Australian Port Adelaideans. So
They probably were. They were like, hey, want a beer? And they're like, fuck yeah, I want a beer. Or it's like, okay, this guy's
this
going
is
to
why I'm
bark at you.
excited for the Mortal Kombat movie.
Ugh.
Casting's open now. All right,
Hugo Weaving's starring as everyone.
last
Wait,
question.
Initial D, I gave that a 4,
Yeah, I know you're horrible.
so it's equal to Bad Boy Bubby in my
Initial
eyes.
D is equal to Bad Boy Bubby.
That's not true. That's not true. I like Initial D way more. Why has that only got 4 from me?
It earned it, trust me.
what
So
you
much
gave it.
milk. So
I don't know
much
how that
milk.
only got 4. That means I only gave it 2 and 2.
Yeah, you were arguing with me for giving a 2.5 or something like that.
You argue with all of us when we gave it a good score.
Yeah, when
Yeah.
we get a
It
better.
was pretty bad, but
It wasn't that bad.
It wasn't Bad Boy Bubby bad.
That's the new scale now.
Bad Boy Bubby bad.
Bad boy, Bobby bad.
All right, last thing because this went way too long. Do you
Aaron
recommend
decided to.
this movie?
No.
No,
I think I would recommend this movie.
of course
People
you
need
would. You
to
did.
experience it.
Just don't do it.
You could not say no. You would not recommend this movie, Aaron. You recommended it to us to watch. You are an absolute cunt.
Yeah, it's your fault that we're here. Well, your
Oh,
fault,
yeah.
Amy's fault. I'm not sure.
They're both one nowadays. It doesn't matter.
For anyone who's listening and has made it this far, we recommend this movie.
No, we don't.
No,
3 thumbs up.
No thumbs up.
3 thumbs up.
Go out there, watch it twice. Oh, you know what? Just watch the review. It goes almost as long as the movie.
No, Aaron gave enough detail, so you don't have to watch the movie.
Aaron doesn't know his middle name, but he was proper into this movie.
It was an interesting movie.
Well, next week is AI, artificial intelligence. Is that the way it is? It's AI, artificial intelligence, or is it just AI?
It's just meant to be AI. I'm pretty
I
sure.
think it's
Every time
AI
I see-
artificial intelligence.
Yeah, every time I've seen it written, it's AI, artificial intelligence. And it's got, Haley something, the kid whose face
Yeah.
doesn't grow.
Jude Law.
Yeah, it's called AI artificial intelligence.
All right. Hooray, look for that. Thank you again
Oh,
to
that
all our
movie makes me
supporters.
sad.
If you've listened to this, woo, you are dedicated.
We're sorry. Give us money for therapy. Yeet.
We will get these shorter, I swear.
We won't.
Aaron won't be here next
Let us
week.
know
'cause
what
I've
you
killed
think.
him.
If you do watch Bad Boy Bubby, please let us know what you think.
Yeah, someone who's seen this movie, talk to us. And also, we're so sorry that Kane doesn't like cerebral palsy people.
He's a
I am
monster.
not sorry about that.
No,
Everyone
we're
has
sorry.
their things
We're
they don't like.
sorry.
Everyone has their things they don't like.
Look, if you met some, you'd be fine.
I have. They're my
They gave him nightmares for months, probably.
We worked at a place that had them come in.
They can't bowl.
They do. They just the carers put him on a ramp in front of them, and they just
Oh, that's nice.
And then they wave at you.
I can't remember you.
Till next
freaking out about
time. See ya. See everyone.
See everyone.
Fuck you.
goodbye.
NPC